Today, I'm going over how to make a resume for applying for yoga teaching jobs. This might be a resume that you're sending out to potential studios or gyms or potential places or people that want to hire you. And also is great to give out to people if even potential students, if they're looking for a specific style of teacher and you want to share with them your credentials and your experience all in one place. This is typically a one-page document that has all the information that someone would need if they are interested in hiring for yoga teaching or whatever your skill set is. So let's go through a very simple way to make a resume. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to take a long time. And what I'm going to share with you today is free, simple, easy, a template, and some tips that can help you get the most out of creating your resume. So let's get started. So first of all, if you're not familiar with Canva, canva.com is a web-based design software that I highly recommend for anybody who wants to create flyers, brochures, anything. Number one, it's free. Number two, it's very easy. And because it's web-based, you don't need specific apps or download anything on your computer. You just go to canva.com. They even have an app on your phone. You create an account by creating a password and putting your email, and then you're good to go. There is a pro version, which is, I think, $10 a month. Totally worth it if you're using this a lot, but you can do a lot already with the free version. So on canva.com, click on Create a Design at the top. Once you're all logged in, you can scroll through and see what kinds of designs they have. We've got Instagram posts, we've got presentations, logos, resumes, flyers, cards, letterheads, all sorts of things. But we're going to choose resume. That's exactly what we're looking for, right? So we're going to choose resume, click on that. And it will come up with a new document. Now, I already have one here, so we're just going to use that. But up here at the top, it'll give you some suggested templates, and some of them are free. If they say free at the bottom, then they're free. If you scroll down to the professional ones, you might see this little crown and pro on it, which means you can't use it unless you have the pro version of Canva. But again, we don't have to get super fancy. It doesn't have to be above and beyond extra. It can be very simple. So I chose this simple document right here. It looks super simple. It's just got words. It's got a little picture at the top. Easy. It's easy to read text. If I zoom in, I can zoom in here at the bottom. If I zoom in or out, I can see that it is just a simple sans serif font. Again, easy to read. Everything is lined up, so I don't have to deal with any of the design. I just have to change out the words. Now, if you see these little blue boxes as I hover around things, if I click on something, I can move them. So I can move it using this crosshair. Hit the undo button. I can also move it if I have it highlighted or clicked on it. I can use the arrow keys on my desktop or my computer to move things. So I don't need to move anything right now, but I might need to shift things around as I start adding or deleting certain words on this template. So first, we're going to make this more yoga-like, okay? So with it being yoga-like, obviously I need to change my picture. If I click on picture, I can go to uploads. I can upload a photo. I already have some photos uploaded, actually. If you upload photos, they'll stay there, so you can use them over and over again. You can see I've uploaded quite a few. For a photo, just first thing, if you're going to add a photo to your resume, make it be a headshot. We would not want to add a photo. Oops, I've got to click on it. I wouldn't want to add a photo like this with that's me in a yoga pose because you can't see my face, or a photo with my eyes closed. Let's keep it to headshot style, just so that people can see who you are. And smiling face, approachable. That's great. So I'm going to take this photo and drag it over right here into the circle, plop, and it just inserts right away. So you can upload photos yourself, upload media, which would be photos or different types of images. And I've made a few things already, so you can tell that I have some images in here, but again, you'll have nothing in here until you upload them. So I've got this headshot here. You can pick a good one yourself, have someone take a photo of you, smiling, approachable. And I have a color that I like to use personally. So if I want to change the color of anything, that means text or even this background box, I can put a photo in here. Number one, let's actually check that out. I can put this. I should be able to. Maybe not. Sometimes you can put photos in two boxes, but let's say I just wanted to change the color. So I go up to this color section here, click on it, and I can choose a different color. And it actually pulls colors from the photo too. So if I wanted to change it to this green or this sort of brown color of my hair, I could do that. But I do have a color that I like to use and is a hex code color, something that I use throughout my branding. And I have it saved in my Chrome extension called ColorZilla. I picked out this color that I have, and I use it all the time. And I should probably have this memorized by now, but I don't. So C3E0DF. I'm going to copy that, Command copy and paste, and I'm going to choose this color. And the great thing about choosing a color too is it also gives you other color ideas or color palettes that you can use along with it. So if I wanted to, I could change the color of this to one of those other blue type colors if I wanted to get a little fancy splash color in there. But for now, again, let's keep this simple. Let's keep going. And before we get too far, I'm going to double click on the title and write my name. Changing what I can, keeping it simple. Yoga teacher, ERYT 200. You don't have to put any ERYT. You could just put yoga teacher or maybe hatha yoga teacher or restorative yoga teacher, whatever you want your title to be. So you'd put that below your name. Great. And these little lines you can click on too and move if you want to, or delete. Hit the delete key and it goes away. I'm going to undo that because they're fine just sitting there. And we'll change the titles of things too. So we might have about like my teaching style. And then we're going to write classes as I teach. You can also keep character references in there. I think that's really nice if you wanted to write a couple people or potential or students you've worked with that are okay with them being contacted. Now, it's unlikely that people or yoga studio owners will call your references, but just the simple act of having them on there shows that you have people that can vouch for you. So you can write character references, or it might even just be a couple testimonials. If I wanted to say testimonials, and I might change this where it's a quote. Someone says a quick sentence like, Ashley's classes are so much fun and I can't wait to come back to them, with their name if they're okay with sharing that. Definitely ask permission for both testimonials and for character references. How to reach me is your regular contact information. So you'd put your phone number, your email address, and make sure that your email address is a professional-ish one. It isn't like rubberducky69@hotmail.com. Avoid Hotmail. That's not something we use anymore. Gmail is fine. If you have your own website and can make your own email address, like I have ashley@ashesyoga.com. That's even better. But just have an email that doesn't have to be for yoga, but simply your name or something like that. You don't necessarily need your address on there, although it does show your location. So if you are, an hour away from the place that you're applying, it might be tough to ask for you to be a sub if you can't get there in a timely manner. So you can put your address if you want. It's not needed though. Maybe you just put your city. And then there's LinkedIn here. That's because that's kind of a professional thing. When you're applying for jobs, LinkedIn is very much more of a career-based social media platform. But if you have any social media platforms that you use for yoga, I would put those on here. So if you have an Instagram that you share yoga, put that on here if it's public. Do not share your personal non-public Instagram account. That doesn't make sense. If you have a Facebook group or a Facebook page for yoga, then share that. But there's no need to share your personal information if it's not related to your yoga teaching. Okay. So up here, we've got career summary. We don't need that. We might put teaching experience. And then we're going to write trainings and workshops. Make sure that, going to try to pull this out just a little bit. There we go. Trainings and workshops and teaching experience. If you have space, there might be space for a few other things, like another box down here. Let's say you don't have a lot of teaching experience. So we're actually going to delete that, one of those. I'm going to drag and pull that up. And we can copy and paste. Copy this, paste it. I did a little key code for that copy and paste. And instead of teaching experience, we might write something else. And we'll get to that in a moment. So I have some notes on what you would write in a resume as a new teacher. First, and I will share this too in a link. Your resume is a list of credentials, experience, and references. It's usually one page, put in one place so that you can avoid this back and forth. The back and forth between emails. And it also shows your level of professionalism and effort when applying for a job. So there's a lot of teachers that teach as a hobby, and they just get a job. They don't have to think about getting hired. It's simple, but let's up level in our professionalism in this career. So what should be on a resume? We went through a few things: name, contact details, social media, a headshot, maybe a short bio that's a sentence or two, teaching experience, practice experience, education. If you're registered with any registrations or certifications, and maybe even availability and possibly your references. So what do you not need is irrelevant jobs, your high school, your GPA, kids, pets, relationship status, or anything that really doesn't relate to the job that you're applying for. So here are some ideas of what you can put on your resume if you don't have a lot of teaching experience in yoga. So list any certifications you've gotten. Those can be online or they can be in person, whatever that is. Practice experience. Practice experience is like, that's what we're going to add. Practice experience, I think, is sometimes more beneficial than attending a bunch of workshops. How long have you been practicing yoga? What style? Do you have a daily home practice? Have you been attending a specific studio weekly or for a certain duration for a number of years? You can list favorite books. You don't necessarily have to do books. It was just a brainstorm idea. What workshops have you attended? This doesn't have to be a certification or training, but just workshops that you've learned from. Learning, again, in any capacity, even if it's not to teach you as a teacher, can still be beneficial. Maybe list if you have any other public speaking or teaching experience. If you've been a third grade teacher for 15 years, that's huge. If you can teach in some other topic, you can often teach in yoga. It's a lot easier for you to be in front of people as a yoga teacher. You're able to lead and guide with whatever you've taught. If you have any other movement or athletic type training, if you were an athlete or if you had experience with certain conditions or certain types of people. So I wrote down also, like, I was in track and field for college and I have run half marathons, or if I'm an avid, if I'm a spin instructor, or if I do anything else. I even took a college yoga class in 2011. I might even put that on there. Not nowadays, but if I were applying for something in, let's say, 2012 or 2013. Okay, conditions I'm familiar with too. So this might be helpful to people. If you've had certain conditions or if you've worked with certain populations, I'm familiar with hypermobility, knee injuries, shoulder, and some mental health issues. So that might be something that you want to list as well. And definitely look at where you're applying, because you want to know that what you do fits with who you are as a teacher too. So you want the fit to be good for both of you. Let's see, where are we? Okay, so I also want to mention how you name your, I got to pull this out here, how you name your document in Canva. Oh, here it is. It's up here. So I got to make this bigger. I'm going to name this Resume 2021. There we go. And make that small again. So with my teaching style, let's just say I teach a fun and friend all levels Vinyasa flow class. Students can expect a play and challenge. Oops. Make sure you spell things right. So this isn't necessarily my exact bio, but I might write something, and you can simply copy and paste if you have something already. It's just a quick copy paste. Does not have to be long. Again, just tell them what to expect if someone's coming to your classes, what your style is like, who you are. Just give them a little tidbit. Basically, it's kind of like what would you put on a bio on your Instagram? Something real quick. Instagram is even shorter than this, I think, but make it this a sentence or two at most, not your full bio. Just what's your teaching style typically like? Classes, I can, and you can list this however you want. I can teach classes. I don't know how to write that. Classes. Let's just write classes. And we're going to write, I'm going to write power yoga. And if they are different styles, you might want to write a little bit about them, like a 60-minute power yoga. What does that mean? Like Budokan yoga is something that not a lot of people know about. So I might write just a tiny description of what that is, what people can expect. You might even just get rid of these and write down just a simple list of all the things that you teach. If you look at some of these other templates, let's, for example, this one. No, I don't want to replace the current page. Let's actually just go back to this. I'm going to go to this one. If I zoom in here, this skill summary right here, this could be a good way to share what classes you teach and how proficient you are. So you might say yoga classes I teach. This one's going to say Vinyasa yoga, and then 2 dots for Yin yoga, 2 dots for restorative, 3 dots for gentle hatha candlelight yoga. So that's another way you could do this if you wanted to use this template instead, or use this option, or simply listing them in what classes you're able to teach. Yoga sculpt and bar. And then I might, move that down a little bit. Move, use the arrow keys, You don't have to worry so much about hitting the edge because you're not going to print this. So if it's close to the edge, that's okay. It's not great. You want it to look good still, but if you do have to bump things down, that's all right. So just fill in everything. Classes you're able to teach, your teaching experience. If you have any teaching experience, this might not even be yoga related. Do I need to put in my degree in graphic communications? Not necessarily, but it is a professional experience that might be helpful with my career as a yoga teacher. So I might put somewhere, it might be not just teaching experience, but professional experience just in general. So I might be writing out my experience as a marketer, because if I have professional experience in marketing, that is good for wherever I'm going to teach. So I might write that out here too. You do not have to be a social media expert to get a job as a teacher, not at all. I just use that to my benefit because that's who I am. So use your own experiences to your benefit and highlight them. Highlight what you're really good at. Trainings and workshops, list that out however you want. And once you're done with this, okay, let's just say we're done with this. You've done some brainstorming with all the things that you want on your resume. You've copied and pasted, you put it in, you've double checked it. Now let's just talk quick about a cover letter. Your cover letter does not go in with your resume like it used to. You used to have to print off your cover letter too. Your cover letter is typically just within the email that you're going to send. It's the paragraphs in the email itself. And you tell them how you found them and that you're interested in teaching, share some availability, maybe a quick little blurb about your classes and why it's a good fit, and then ask for an interview or simply ask to meet up to see if it's the right fit. Tell them that your resume is attached and that you'll be following up in a week or two if you don't hear back. Following up is also key. If you don't hear back in a week or two, it is appropriate to say, hey, you might have missed this, or I know that life is busy. I just want to send this again. And you send the same thing to see if there's a time that you're able to meet up. Okay, so cover letters is really just something that you're going to put in the email itself. Your resume will be attached. So once we're done, you're going to hit this download button, this arrow with a line, download button, and save it as a PDF. That's suggested. Print quality is fine. No crop marks, no download settings, just as a PDF. And it's going to download into your downloadable documents, wherever they download on your computer. Okay? And then when you send it, you'll pull that download. You can also rename it if you want to. Resume. I'm checking this out on, here you go, Resume 2021. It is in my downloads. You don't see this right now because I'm not sharing that screen, but you would save it. It is now a PDF. You can attach to an email. Easy, 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 right? So template, fill it out, list your teaching style, trainings, professional experience, teaching experience, practice experience. Anything that's going to relate to getting a job as a yoga teacher and what your employer would need to know before hiring you, so you can avoid the back and forth. That's how easy it is to make a resume nowadays. Canva.com makes it super simple. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope that you have fun with creating some designs with some templates using Canva. Feel free to share within our Facebook groups if you want feedback, or if you want me to look it over, share it with me. I would love to see what you've created. And that's it. All right. Thanks so much.